Well, you know what they say. I'd rather be lucky than good. Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening. Welcome to Atomic Mass Transmissions Live. On today's painting adventure, I will be your guide, Dallas. And today, I'm feeling quite lucky. I'm feeling like the gods of luck and manipulation of odds are in our favor, and because we are painting up one Miss Domino. I'm super excited to be painting this miniature up. I got challenged on Tuesday by Chic the painter in normal colors. So we're going to do that, and I think it's going to go fast and easy. So let's see what we can do. I'm going to switch it over here to the mini cam. Boom, the mini cam. And let's just get painting. We're just going to start in. So I've zenithal primed it as I am wont to do. And the next thing I'm going to do is I want to use this zenithal prime, and I want to use washes to my favor. That's right, Miss Thurman, if you want to live. I'm going to use this wash, and it's going to be a light blue. I'm going to paint this over all the areas that I want to be black. Now, this does not have to be precise. This does not have to be, perfectly smooth. It doesn't have to be blended. I just want a little bit of blue to go on the costume to create some undertones to the black. If you look at comic books, there's always like that little bit of blue or gray in the blacks to differentiate between them. So we want to do the same thing on ours. You don't have to, of course. This is what I'm going to do. And the reason this doesn't have to be like blended or anything is because when I do the black wash is going to hide a bunch of this. Just kind of sketch it in there. I think your little gauntlets are black. Definitely wearing gloves, so tops of the fingers. So I don't got to worry about the bottoms of the fingers because they're already black from the zenith. Just real quick and easy. And if you're wondering, this is like a light gray. Wow, I always forget the name of it. I put all my paints out before the stream onto my wet palette. Then I always forget. I think it's Rainy Day. It's like a light gray. And I mixed a little dot of Hold Your Blue in there. Just to darken it. And the rainy gray desaturates it because I don't want it real poppy. Rainy gray, Chic knows. Chic uses that color all the time. So I know I've been challenged to do the studio version or a studio based scheme. And I was looking through some pictures and found like a pretty cool version. It's kind of a reverse of the Hot Shots run Domino costume. So I think I'm going to play with that. So it's sort of the studio modified to give it like a twist. I know I'm probably going to be accused of cheating, but there's no cheating in art. So, What primer did I use? I used some Airbrush Primer. I typically use Airbrush Primer. The reason for that is I don't have to wait on humidity. Living here in the lovely Pacific Northwest, I don't have to worry about rain or sun. I can just prime whenever I want. I used black and then a bit of gray over the top to create my zenith. Black straps, I think black straps. Yeah, let's do the black straps as well. Chick has been painting some white armor, and I'm excited to get my hands on some white armor projects as well. It's one of my favorite colors to paint. I think it provides a lot of like interesting like little places for you to hide other colors. Like I said, this doesn't need to be perfect. We're just going to get some blue on there. You could even change up the leather straps to be a different color blue, so when you lay on our black wash, they read different. She's got her grenades here as well. We'll deal with those later. Maybe we'll do that now. Let's darken it. Darken the blue. We'll make these pistol holster, blaster holsters. A little different. Smart drive, of course. If you take Domino in your 10 character roster, Domino always brings the luck. Let's go ahead and throw this darker blue on the straps as well. Then what this is going to do is when we put on our black wash, as I was saying, it's going to differentiate between those two elements a little bit more. Now the studio one, Brendan painted and has blue, like very primary blue elements in the costume. And as I said, I was looking at some art, and I was looking at the Hot Shots costume of our Domino, and I remember Schick saying that he read that Hot Shots, and then I found an alternate version where the black and white is inversed. So basically I'm going to do like white elements in the costume instead of the blue elements, but to tie it back to the studio one, I will be using a little bit of blue in the shadows. So just tying it all back together. Maybe your entire boot. Give that some of that dark blue just to make those stand out. make those a little different. So I'm just going to wash that dark blue on. I'll make these the boots have a different feel to the rest of the costume. All right, we're just kind of working with a bunch of undertones right now. We're just building up for that black wash that we're going to lay on. Maybe the gloves are the same way. By varying the elements and the amount of colors and the types of colors, you can we can make a bunch of different blacks, but they'll all look different, so you can maintain some visual interest on the miniature. And that's our goal here, is to have, you know, classic black costume Domino, but I want to create a bunch of different visually interesting elements. Oh, we're talking about airbrushes. I'm never paint. We're talking about airbrushes. Jealous. I see people talking about using isopropyl alcohol. I do a 10-part isopropyl alcohol, or 10-part water to 1-part alcohol mix to thin and clean my airbrush. It has been working super good. Little trick I picked up in a airbrush class a few years ago. Because we're never done learning. Alright, while our blue's dry, let's start working on our skin. So I don't want to use blue on the skin to shade. So we're gonna, because we want the skin to feel different. Domino has, as we all know, alabaster white skin. And if we used blue, to shade, which sometimes I do, use blue to shade white, it would tie too much back to that blue in the costume. So this, once again, we're talking about making it all feel a little different. So I'm mixing a little gray, rainy gray, a little titanium white together. Just get a just a light skin tone on there. Then we can go a little darker and shade it. Don't want to overdo that shadow on the nose. I want to keep that kind of like sort of joyous look. Like, I like the look she has on her face. She's just like, yep. Nothing's stopping me to those ocular cavities. Let's put a little bit of blue, light blue, white, desaturate with some gray on the hair. You can see she's got a little part there that I didn't cover in putty. Didn't feel it was necessary. Once you paint it on, or once you get painting, you can just make it look like just hairlines. Just making some little scratchy hairlines, something like that. And we'll use some white, come back in, start highlighting. I'm going to smooth that out. I'm going to focus on those, just those areas that kind of pop out. Paint the eyes. I think I brought that one down just a little too far, so I can go back and reclaim. Like that. Just reclaim it. I made the black a little wide on that one eye. Let's grab a little off-white. And we can paint the pupils in. Some dark blue and black mixed together. Hold your blue and black. She's usually depicted with very dark lips. Make sure she's smirking. We'll do the same thing around her eyes. So she's got the mark around her eye. Usually drawn toward the edge of the nose there. Yeah, well, but she's got a lot, like, I like her. She's got a lot of character. You know, something's exploded. I'm not saying it was Deadpool, but, or misaligned bob shot. But definitely something's exploded. And, she doesn't care. Because she's got luck on her side. So I just mixed up some black paint, a little water, little medium to make it stick. I'm just going to wash this over top of all those different lovely blues. Guess we could go right over the guns as well. If we were so inclined. Yeah, it's fun because like we when we're doing poses, I tend to work in like batches and groups, and then anything that comes in box together is definitely worked on at the same time. And it's important for, and we'll go more into this in the mini extravaganza. There might be a whole segment, just me and Marco, and maybe we'll drag somebody else in and talk to them, but kind of like how a miniature is made at atomic mass. Or I can give you a little sneak peek. Like characters that are close by tend to be concepted around the same time. That's the way I typically work. So Deadpool, Bob, Cable, Domino, Sinister, you know, those were all around the same time together. And sometimes you just kind of like run with like a little story in your head, right? The buzzing you're hearing is my lamps. My lamps are right above my head, and my lapel mic is right on my lapel. So less than a foot away from a lamp. I'm pretty convinced that's what it is. I should hire somebody to fix it. That's Mr. Sinister. That's correct. It's Mr. Sinister. He's the one doing it. So like I like to imagine like little stories, right? So you got Bob and the rocket, and got a lot of action in this wave. Domino utilizing that luck to like get away from an explosion because it doesn't matter to her. You know, you got Cable blocking some explosions, and of course Deadpool. He doesn't care. Okay. So it's drying up. You can see that blue still underneath there. And that's what I want. I want that blue to be poking out from underneath that black wash. Well, so miniatures are designed around what way? Kind of. We usually got little groups that are together that we work on in groups. Same black wash on her hair, and because that hair has a different undercolor, it's going to read a little different. What type size brush do I use? I use watercolor brushes. I use whatever size I have on hand. I'm really bad about that question because like sometimes somebody asks me that and I'm like, oh, I'm using a size 1, and I look down and I'm totally using like a size 3. But I like a good watercolor brush. They provide nice big bellies. That's the belly. And they provide nice small points. I think we know what the point is. The point is the paint miniatures. So that's usually what I use. So this undershirt, I want this under area to be white. And I kind of borked it up on this end. Alright, we'll just bring it right back. Try and stay within the lines. And I think this will be a cool variation to the costume. is Deadpool's Rocket from Bob. I'm not confirming that, but most likely. ProTech, what black wash was over the blue? It was literally just some black paint, some water, and a little touch of medium. I just mixed it up. Agent Orange, there will be a schedule going out. I have all the wonderful information on that schedule. We got paint classes. We've got some awesome development hangouts with Pagani and Luke Eddy. And we got some art hangouts with Josh and Marco. Who knows who else is going to show up, or what miniatures will show up even. I'm just starting to highlight. So I'm just taking my different color blues I already made and using those to re-highlight the areas that were black washed. I'm not even going to blend this out. I want to keep them just nice lines. I'll probably do 2 highlights. Kind of make that foot crinkle pop. Oh, I need a color for her grenades. Did not do the grenades. We'll do those in a little bit. Blend that one. I'm just arbitrarily picking side where the highlights are. I'm not really thinking too much about complex light and shadow philosophies, you know. Maybe I'll do that on a competition piece or a studio miniature, but this is for tabletop, so I'm just gonna have fun with it. Kind of paint with my heart. Always highlight the knuckles though. You want to be proactive for the main extravaganza. Well, I mean, the best way to be proactive about main extravaganza is just be ready for 3 full days. Except for when we're sleeping. 3 full days. I've already received 2 messages from people saying that they took all those days off for the main extravaganza so they don't miss anything, and I was like, that's awesome. I would probably do the same thing. Alright, let's add a little more white to that same color. We're going to kick up some little specular highlights. I call them specular highlights. Those little pings and pops. This is where I like to have fun. Like I put highlights in like weird spaces. Like right in the center of the black areas. Because that just makes it look more shiny. Especially on like superhero suits. Somebody like Domino, like usually depicted a little more glossy costume. Oh yeah, all times are Pacific. If there were any other time, I'd forget. I'd miss my time. Just going around the miniature. My little dots I like to draw. Boop. Right down their knee. Can't remember if I did this but when we're doing the speculars. My lights just flickered. Did y'all see that? And get desaturated blue, white, gray. And don't forget that all the awesome content's gonna go up eventually up on Twitch. Like we do. That highlight right in the front to frame her face really nice. I want to draw tension there. There's an ancient adage in miniature painting called faces and bases, and basically it just means like if you focus on the face and focus on the base, you'll make a great looking miniature. So to this side, do some little highlights. Oh, yes, I do mean YouTube. Boy, oh boy. It's been a long day. Got super wrapped up in painting that hair and tiny highlights. How's that feeling? I think it's feeling pretty good. I think she's almost done. The white stripe in the hair. I'm looking at art and I don't see white stripe at all. I'm gonna look at another piece of art. Oh, definitely in the hot shots, she has a white stripe, right? But not always. Okay, I was looking at a piece without the white stripe. We can put the white stripe in there. There ain't no thing. Seems like it's right to the front. Just choose a couple locks and just kick them up. Yeah, I mean, it's comic books. There's versions of, there's so many versions, and characters change and die and come back. And there we go. I don't want that so bright on the inside because I like that nice framing she has. There we go. What else did I miss, chat? Heal over time. I agree. I enjoy watching characters change and evolve over time, and like, you know, it's kind of fun for us. Like, it's like, okay, let's do Domino. You know, Chick and I discussed like which costume, you know, what version. You know, we usually do it for every character. But it's fun. Like, you're just like, oh, what about this version? What about this version? Oh, this version is pretty compelling. She has a little highlight on her lip. A little white holds your blue. Maybe another highlight. There we go. Need some red. Need some red. Let's kick over some red. I like making my X symbols red. Sticker's gonna be like, no! We'll highlight that here in a little bit. I need to paint that grenade's a good color. That should be like a green. Let's do like a green black, I think. I don't know what Shake is telling people they're wrong about, but we're not going to disparage Zazzy Beats. So we'll go green and then we'll blacken them down just a little bit. That way they're more tactical. More tactical. Let's just do black over the blasters. I'm just going to do a black wash over the blasters. With that zenith prime, some of that white's going to shine through, and then we can just throw a quick highlight on them once that black dries up. Maybe the little buckles, we can make them highlight a little bit. And the snaps. Just to show they're like a different material. I don't really consider those buckles, so I'm going to leave those. Now a little blue mixed with red makes a lovely purple, which makes a wonderful shadow for our red here. some green and black to shade our grenades. I do love a good glaze. If you watch our streams, Chick and I tend to paint a lot in glazes. And maybe sometime if there's interest, we'll do something that's a little bit more like, how about I paint if it wasn't all glazes in 1 hour? We're going to talk philosophically about that soon, I think, though. If you've seen our painting competition, that's been on hold because of the global pandemic. The Path of the Worthy. You might have seen a great big statue of Odin. And maybe over the mini extravaganza, we'll be talking about what that's about and sort of the philosophy of, you know, what we would look for in a miniature for the worthy. Like what do we consider worthy? So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, you should check out that stream. Coming soon. That's good enough green. Let's go bright orange. Oh my gosh, I only got 5 minutes. Yeah, me, I don't really care dropper or I don't care dropper or pot. Pot paints, I don't leave open and pull paint out of them. Pot paints, I actually put the paint out on a palette. So I never have any of the problems some people have with them. Like you pop them open, you take the paint out, and then you close them up. You're done. That's the way I paint with them. Vision is worthy, true. There, nice red. I got 5 minutes to highlight the guns. Let's grab some of this gray and white. A little bit of that green. I actually put my paints out on dry pellets too, wet pellets. I don't always use a wet pellet. Dry pellets are great, or well pellets. I love well pellets for certain painting techniques. If I was doing actual studio level 2-brush blending, I prefer my paints out on a well pellet because I want my paints a little thick. I don't actually want them wet. Ceramic well pellets are the best because they won't dry out. Like you have that little bit of a well, and you can actually drop a paint pot right on top, and it kind of like saves the paint inside the well palette. So great for if you're going to get back to painting something later. You can drop just a paint pot in the top of a ceramic well, and the paint will stay wet. But there are certain paint techniques you want the paint to be, I'm going to say, thicker than in other paint techniques. Like We're definitely painting in very thin paint right now. As I said, if I was doing something more traditional, like a studio, I would be painting a much thicker paints. So it's all about what's comfortable for you. The mini extravaganza, well, I can't tell you that it was confirmed that we are going to be putting up a full list itinerary of the main extravaganza within the next few days. So be ready to see that. Okay, a little bit of green. A little bit of green makes those pistils work, those blasters work really good. Alright, I think I painted a domino in an hour. Not too shabby. She's ready to hit the tabletop, I think. Does anybody see anything I missed? Also, don't forget we have hashtag painting protocol on Instagram. Royalty was last month's. This month is Infinity War, so if you should post pictures and tag it hashtag painting protocol for Infinity, and we will pick our favorites and showcase them on the official Atomic Mass Instagram account and here on the streams. Love to see what everybody paints. I know I've seen some really cool Thanos in the past, so hopefully we'll see more Thanos, because I can't get enough. I can't get enough Thanos. I'm gonna be really real. It's almost time to leave, I know, but I'm gonna keep painting for one more second. You can leave if you want. That's on you. I saw this line that got blurred. Had two highlights intersect, kind of messed up each other. There we go. Boom! Domino. I'm done with this. This is I mean, I gotta paint the explosion and her escape rock. I call that escape rock because that's how she's escaping the explosion. She's out of there. I gotta paint that up, but other than that, the domino is done. We've did a version of her studio costume, but instead of blue side panels, I did white side panels. I thought that just kind of looked pretty cool and interesting. Knocked up that red on the belt buckle, and we went in and gave her the Hot Shots white streak done up on her as well. So let me switch my camera over here, boop, 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 to that one. Hello. Remember, join us every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at Twitch at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for all kinds of wonderful painting streams. Tomorrow you can join Mr. John Schaefer. He'll be painting up something really cool, I'm sure. Tuesday, Mr. Will Schick. Wednesday, Mr. Will Schick. And on Thursdays, you can catch me back here painting stuff. Remember, hashtag painting protocol. Go check it out. Put up your Infinity miniatures. And be ready for information on the Streamapalooza, or mini extravaganza. I'm going to get yelled at here in a minute. The mini extravaganza. We're going to have all kinds of cool stuff to show. Miniatures and sculpts and panels. And we're going to be talking about how sculpt is made, and we're going to be talking about what we think about when we're developing the characters. So all kinds of cool stuff. So remember, join us for that in a couple weeks. So until next time, be safe and go be heroes. Bye. Switch. Yeah, it's way over there. That's the wrong one. Dun 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 dun. See you later. Goodbye. Check out John Schaefer tomorrow. He's gonna paint some stuff. Bow.